I'm very excited to have you on the podcast because you are an artist. And that is so rare for our market. We have people that want to act. We have people that act in big markets. We have people that move back here. We have people that are coming up and learning what it means to be an actor. But being an actor and being an artist are two different things. An artist is someone that embodies this as more than just an actor, but with their voice, with their body. And I've seen you work, and you are so ridiculously talented. I said, we absolutely have to have Lauren come in. No, I didn't plan anything. Not that I have to plan what I talk to people about, but I've always thought you were so ridiculously talented. And I wanted to tell you that.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. It's such an honor to have you. And obviously it's a commercial market. And I know that the artists don't always get the same opportunities in a commercial market.
Yeah.
But I in my heart somewhere, I go, one day Lauren's gonna have that artistic role that's just,
right.
And I know when you first came to the market, I was like, get out of here.
I know.
What are you doing here? Do you remember that?
Of course, and Ruth.
I tried to throw you out.
I still kind of want to dabble back and forth. That's the goal, you know. But no, I hear you on the why, Now I get it. Now I understand why. But, finding ways to fit the market that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you find a way to adjust your appearance, or if I know I have to act a certain way in an audition.
See, that's you being the artist though.
Well, thank you, but yeah, I guess so.
Understanding how to play and read you're an actor within acting.
That's the wild part, right? I never thought that I would have to do that. But I think in a commercial market, I'm like, okay, how do I fit in here?
Mm-hmm.
How do I take feedback and, find my little spot, my niche?
Right. Why have you stayed in Arizona?
Oh, if you want the honest truth, financially, I think, it's a lot easier to stay. Having stability as an artist, and you've talked to me about this.
Of course, I know all about it. And I think it's, talking to you is like having a transparent conversation about the real world of artistry, Sure, I want to talk about the commercial market. I want to talk about opportunities here, but the life of an artist is different. And there are things like that we have to consider. Mm-hmm. But I also think that's really positive because, people in larger markets that might be artists too can go, all right, I can live a good life and still be an artist and find a path and find a way. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to do in Manhattan. I know you do other things to fulfill yourself as an artist too, which I'd love to talk about. You're one heck of a dancer.
We've talked about this. Social Latin dancing.
Yes, but that's dancing.
I don't do point.
I'm not saying you don't have to be a point.
Is beginner at most,
You don't want to do time steps today?
I would love, let's do triple time steps on this table. You tap, See, he knows.
Yeah.
I'm like talking to Hana. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hana.
I studied a little bit of hoofing. I had a moment where I was like, I'm going to be a hoofer. Mm-hmm. We have lots of moments as artists, don't we? Then you look back, you're like, I don't know that I was the best hoofer, but I enjoyed the fantasy for a while.
Yeah. Tap is fun, though.
Yeah.
It is really fun.
But you are a fantastic social dancer.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun. And you always, I think right when I moved here, you had said, you should diversify your income, have a hobby that you love.
I gave you business advice as an artist.
You gave me, are you being funny?
Yeah.
It's being funny.
I feel like everyone's always like, you're like a businessman. It's like, I'm trying to help artists. I'm trying to help artists survive.
The problem is that a lot of artists don't understand the business side. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I still am struggling with, but way better than when I
So I have to say now, can you look back and go, okay, I thought he was being negative, but now I can tell he was just trying to help me?
I 100% understand your motives. At the time,
you thought I was negative,
I was
right?
like, what a jerk. He's telling me I have to like change my nails and take out my piercings. But now I get it. For a commercial market,
Right.
I can't do, a shot of my hands back and front and have these long black nails.
Gothic.
Yeah.
It's great for Breakfast Club, but they haven't remade it for about 30 years.
I don't think they put me in that.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But yeah, I at the time I was like, what do you mean? And I thought of, I remember at the time I was really against voiceover. I was against even commercials. I wasn't super excited about.
Yeah.
I was like, I only want to do these big drama films. I only want to do these like darker roles. I'm better at those.
Yeah.
But we're not in a market that has that paying like $1,000 a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I appreciate you sharing that, because I feel like I have mixed reviews as an opinion. And I feel like sometimes younger artists come to me, or they're not really artists yet. I'd say actors, trying to be actors.
Yeah.
And they want my thoughts on the business. And when I share it, I would say about 85% of the time, I've really tried to adjust the way in which I express myself.
The delivery, yeah.
Yeah, the delivery.
You're
I realize. Yeah, but I am blunt because I made a living at this for a really long time.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of people giving advice in the entertainment industry, they never really made a living at it.
Right.
I got into an argument with an acting coach in LA about 8 years ago, and they were giving it, and I said, that's bad advice. And he said to me, well, who are you to tell me? I'm like, well, my 401k came from acting. I'm like, and I don't think you have a 401k from coaching. I wasn't being a jerk, but I was just like,
let me
be realistic with you. Like, let's talk business. Like, this is business. You know what I mean? You're making a living off of teaching. I make a living. I have a network contract,
right?
With a top 6 network. And at the time I had, 5 of those.
Yeah.
I had 3 cable networks. One it was Fox Sports, proper Los Angeles network. So it was like, that's where I speak from.
Right.
And it's cool to see you come full circle. And I'm not saying I want that validation, but just seeing your evolution as a person, because now you're approaching your artistry different.
100%.
Which helps you work more, or at least even feel like you're more in the game.
Right. I really was closed-minded in what gigs I would want to do.
Right.
It's like, well, as an artist, you can do all of that. Like, you don't have to just do one.
Mm-hmm.
You're lucky if you can do, a voiceover here, a commercial there, especially if it, pays the bills as an artist too.
Absolutely.
It's an opportunity that I think sometimes I also take for granted when you're used to seeing those kind of opportunities come in, and you forget that excitement that you had when you were, especially when I was a teenager, of, oh my gosh, I love acting. I get to do this opportunity.
Yeah.
And you were just happy to be in the room.
Right.
So that's something I think when you get in the business side of it, where you're looking at time, money, and writing and all that sort of stuff, and you think, is this worth it for me? Is this a good match for me to submit for? Like, well, you should just be happy to have the opportunity.
Work creates work.
Right.
The more you work, the more you work. And I didn't get it either. So I think it's the evolution of all of us.
Yeah.
I remember, I talk sometimes to people about their casting and how sometimes their casting isn't always the casting they want to be.
Right.
And I'm like, but you have to be realistic with how you're perceived.
Right.
And we can't change certain things about us. Like, I can want to play the pizza delivery guy as much as possible, but no one believes I'm an innocent pizza delivery guy. You're not supposed to laugh at that.
I'm so sorry. If you walked in the room for a casting and I was behind the
I play a bad guy, I play a bad guy, or when I was going after on camera, a guy that has like a ferociousness and intensity about me. And I've always had that. Where that came from, I don't know. But that's what my casting was. And I used to try to play something else. And it's like, the sooner we can take all these variables and connect the dots. And that's kind of what Leighton Agency is about for me. What I try to do more and more as like a mentor is to try to help people connect the dots faster. Because the sooner they can connect the dots, the sooner they can achieve just a little bit of the dream. And once you taste the dream, you're like, okay, I want to connect more of these dots.
Right.
Right? But when you have an idea of what the dream is and you haven't tasted it yet, you're like, no, I know I'll get it this way. It's easier to think your way is better.
Yeah. We think we know the way we're going to be successful, in our mind sometimes. And the way the industry, I think, is talked about and discussed, especially on social media and everything. And when I was growing up, I thought, oh, I can make it through these kinds of roles. It's like, okay, well, let's just be a little more open-minded about if I walk in, first of all, what characters are natural to me, what characters are, more in tune with me as a person, and what am I able to authentically connect to at this time with who I am as a person, which can change. And maybe I could add more to my repertoire.
Yeah.
But it's really hard for me to play girl next door to this day. I mean, it's always been a struggle. It's always been hard.
You're so intelligent.
Well, thanks.
You're so artistic. You're so creative. You make unique choices. Anything I've seen you in, it's only a couple of things, but I'm just like, you're exceptional.
Thanks. It's hard for me to take compliments.
I know it is. That's why I'm taking this time to give them to you, because you need to hear them, and everyone needs to hear them.
Yeah.
It really is so important. And sometimes the most talented people, it's the hardest for them to hear it. And I think that's why I'll say in this case, you are so talented, because you're not focused on doing it for the wrong reason. It's the art, it's the creative part that really fulfills you. At least that's my perception of you.
One thing I really struggle with is after a theater show, let's say I close a show or, I finish a 2-show day or something, and you go out to, leave.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's people there and they want to say something. They want to say, oh, you were wonderful. Like, oh, you did a great job. And I just want to go home. Like, I appreciate the compliments.
Yeah.
But even if it's a role that I feel very proud of myself for, it's not about their validation is appreciated, but it makes me a little uncomfortable having that validation, which is so strange. And I've talked to my therapist about it. Don't worry. Talk to my therapist about it.
No, I totally understand.
Yeah.
Some of the best actors say they don't watch their own performance.
I might get sick if I watched it, to be honest. Even if it felt really good filming it, and you have a take where you're like, oh man, that was the take. Like that felt really connected.
That's why I feel though you can bring a sense of depth that others can't. Because I think when you're doing it it's different. That's more of a performer to me.
Right.
Like musical theater, not all, but as a genre, I think sometimes dance, the more performatory style of arts, it attracts a different type of performer, right? That they want the applause. I'm not to say that if you want the applause, you can't be a great artist, but I don't think Anthony Hopkins did it for the applause.
No, I don't.
I don't think Marlon Brando did it for the, I think they did it as a way of coping, a way of living. It was like a craft. And there's this lost sense of self in it. It's just so beautiful and magnetic. And that's what I love about artists.
Yeah. Well, you get it.
Just a little. Just a little.
Just a smidge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are my artist talk, and I haven't really gotten to have a conversation like this, and it'll be a very different podcast, I think, for some people to watch. But I think that talking about the art like this also is going to attract some of those other artists to come out of their shell.
Sure.
And have the conversation. And I think it's really important. And I think that that's lacking on social media.
Right.
Social media is the highlight reel of, look what I booked it. I remember when people first booked it, I was the guy that was like, what is going on? And now I feel like if you don't announce a booking, it's like you're not working. And people really go on to someone's profile. And I just didn't come up that way, because to me it was like you kind of got to know the artist community, and you didn't worry about that. You met them in person. You shook their hand. You looked at me. You go, "Are they an artist?" And then we all kind of came together.
Right.
And unfortunately, now we're more into, and it's just how society shifted. Like, let me log onto their profile. Oh, this is who they are. You know, but when you think about acting, acting's an in-person creative flow, right?
Right.
A theater, even film, you're on set, you're being real. Sometimes people will ask me and they'll say, do I need to rehearse in person? And I'm like, how are you ever going to show up on a series, you know, for Netflix, and there's 100 people on set and you've got an ensemble scene, right? And you're going to just, do it via Zoom and then show up and be able to create? Like,
Yeah.
it's very different.
I'm not here to say, you know, I've had friends that during the pandemic, which by the way, as an artist was very identity crisis time.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's a different time. I don't really feel like we can pinpoint that. Yeah.
We don't even need to. I know that there was, you know, Zoom shows, like Zoom performances, Zoom theater. I'm not here to negate the validity of that.
Of course.
But rehearsing with someone, you know, on camera, like when you're in front of your laptop, there's delays, there's technical issues. It's just, you don't get the connection, you know. And I can't give an actor something to, like, if I can't make someone look good in this scene, you know, give them the power in this scene, you know, what are we doing? You know, so I can't imagine virtually rehearsing something.
Well, acting 101 is learning to be, right? To be present. You know, right now, you and I are having a conversation. We're being fully present. I don't have an agenda. You don't have an agenda. This is where we begin to act.
Versus in front of my phone. Or you know what I mean? I'm like,
and then you can get away with acting more.
Yeah.
You know, you can get away with layering yourself. You're kind of, I'm pretending right now, but to really experience it, it's different.
It's a different feeling.
Absolutely.
Completely. And there are some people that I've worked with, oh my God, like they're so good. That I'm like, wow, you make me look amazing because you're so good, you know? It's wonderful. And it's a different feeling in person to have, you know, actors that some that have trained and some that are just, I mean, I've known one that was just a natural somehow.
Yeah.
Didn't need the toolbox, didn't need the, I don't know if they were just born like Stanislavski.
I think some people have that.
Yeah, that was not me. That was not me.
Me neither. I've never been good at anything. I didn't work and work and work and work and work. Like, I would say my superpower is I'm just persistent.
The work part, yeah. Getting it done.
Yeah.
You decide. You're good at deciding to be 110% in, you know?
Try 110 and be open to learning and growing, and we just can only wake up every day and do our best and be okay with that. That's the hard part. Be okay with trying to do our best.
Right. Yeah.
All right. We got to wrap this up.
Cool.
You are, again, just an amazing artist, and I'm so grateful that you're part of the Leighton family. And I'm always here for you. We're always here for you. And I just, I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge you, and also to just have an artist conversation, because it's hard to come by these, and I'm so grateful you stopped by.
Thank you for having me. I'm just gonna go cry in a corner now. Not really. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry until later.
I'll film it. I'll film it and add it.
I'll do a selfie. I'll put it on my Instagram, and then we can make a TikTok.
It might go
tag
viral.
You guys.
Yeah. Definitely. Don't tag me.
Tagged you anyway. Peace. That's funny.
Peace. I love it.
That's a good way to end it. On brand.
Peace. Cut.
Okay, great. Thanks. That was really.
It's fun.